All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down a really simple, proven, and most importantly, profitable Amazon ad strategy that's built just for new KDP authors.
Yeah, if you've ever opened up the Amazon advertising dashboard and just felt your brain immediately turn to mush, you are not alone. It can feel like this super complex maze that's just designed to take your money.
But what if I told you there's a much clearer path? In the next few minutes, we're going to put together a super actionable strategy that you can literally start using today to get real results.
So, first things first, let's talk about the foundation. Before we even think about touching a single campaign setting, we have to get our mindset right. Honestly, this is the key to success before you spend even 1 cent. This right here, this is probably the most important principle you need to get. Ads are just an amplifier. They're not a magic sales machine. They take the book you already have and they show it to a bigger audience. So if your book isn't compelling to begin with, no amount of ad spend is going to save it. And that, of course, leads to the big question, is your book actually ad ready? You've got to make sure your product is solid before you start paying to send people to it. Makes sense, right? So to be ad ready, your book really needs to have these key things locked down. First, it has to be in a niche people are actually searching for. Then, that cover and title have to be absolute attention grabbers. And your description and A+ content, they need to seal the deal. And finally, you absolutely need social proof, which means reviews. Yeah, that social proof is just so critical, so you've got to get those reviews first. Now, there isn't one magic number, but aiming for at least 15 positive reviews gives new buyers the confidence they need to actually click that buy button after they've clicked on your ad. Okay, so our foundation is in place. Now we can get to the fun part, the blueprint. This is the core for campaign strategy that's going to take all the guesswork out of this process for you. Here's how it works. We'll kick things off with 2 manual campaigns, one for keywords and one for products. Then, and this is key, we're going to wait 2 weeks. Only after that time has passed will we launch an auto campaign, and then finally, we create a scale campaign for our proven winners. Let's dig into why. Now you might be looking at that and thinking, hold on, a 2-week pause? Why not just launch everything all at once? That's a great question, and it's a really clever part of this strategy. The answer is all about data. You see, by running those targeted manual campaigns first, you're basically spoon-feeding Amazon's algorithm with sales data. You're showing it, hey, look, people who search for these specific things end up buying my book. This makes your future automatic campaign way smarter and so much more effective from day one. All right, let's talk execution. It's time to actually get in there and set up those first campaigns. And we're going to ignore all the noise and focus only on the settings that really truly matter. So when you're staring at that ad dashboard, just zero in on these 3 settings. For targeting, start with manual. For your bidding strategy, always, and I mean always, start with dynamic bids down only. This protects you from overspending. And for your daily budget, a nice, modest $5 to $10 a day is all you need to start gathering that precious data. And what about your bids? Here are some really solid starting points. For low or medium content books, think journals, puzzle books, that kind of thing, start around 30 cents. For high content books like novels or detailed nonfiction, 65 cents is a great place to begin. And remember, these are just starting points. We're going to adjust them later. Now, for those first manual campaigns, you'll want to use Broad Match. Think of this like casting a wide net. It lets Amazon show your ad for similar search terms, which is just perfect for discovering new keywords you hadn't even thought of. We'll use Exact Match later on. That's more like spear phishing. We use it for our scale campaign once we know exactly what works. You know, setting up the ads is really just the beginning. The real magic, the real growth happens in the long-term management. Optimizing what's working, troubleshooting what isn't, and then scaling up your big winners. And here are your dead simple rules for optimizing. Just check in on this stuff about twice a week. It's all based on your ACoS, your advertising cost of sales. Basically, if your ACoS is too high and you're losing money, lower your bid. If it's profitable, gently, and I mean gently, increase that bid by just a few cents to get a few more eyes on your book. That's it. Okay, let's talk about that super common, hair-pulling-out problem. Your ads are getting seen, people are clicking, but nobody is buying. What on earth is going on? If this is happening to you, listen closely. The problem probably isn't your ad. It's your book's product page. The ad did its job. It brought a customer to your digital storefront.
Now you have to figure out why they're leaving without buying. Take a hard look at your description, your A-plus content, your reviews, and even your price. Something there is turning them off.
And this brings us to the final and most exciting step, the scale campaign. Once you find keywords or products in those initial campaigns that have given you 3 or more sales, you promote them. You move them into their very own dedicated campaign. Here, you use exact match targeting, and you can confidently start to increase the budget because you're not guessing anymore. You're betting on a proven winner. So, there you have it, a clear, step-by-step system to get a handle on Amazon ads. And with your ads optimized and humming along, it frees you up to get back to the most important question of all. What amazing book are you going to create next?